The motorsports world has a lot of passionate people, and people love to watch and see that passion on screen. And if we can do anything but come in and shine just a light on that and give people an insight into that world, that's what we want to do.
Welcome to the Motorsports and Driver Development Show. My name is Katie.
And I'm Keto.
And today we are joined with Brett Adkins, who is the head of production at MotorTrend Studios. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
So tell me, what does a day in the life of a producer look like?
I mean, depending on the day, it can always change. But, you're the wrangler. You're the person that takes all of the pieces of the puzzles together and takes something from paper to screen, really. So it's your job to wrangle all of that. And every day is a little bit different depending on what day it is on pre-production and how close you're getting to the shoot. But, a lot of things, some of it's administrative things to managing talent to handling a team of PAs that are fresh off the boat,
Yeah, that's interesting. So how many shows are you either working on at one time or sort of leading up to work on at one time?
It always, it depends every place you go. Right now we have around anywhere from 7 to 9 shows that we produce out of MotorTrend Studios. So we came from a small team that really built up a following with the enthusiasts and fans out there. And from that, we've been able to kind of expand and grow each of the shows to different branches and things like that. But we've been able to keep a small team together to be able to create that, because that's where we feel a lot of the magic comes from, is by keeping the same people inundated in the show, living it, breathing it, so that they're always looking out for the best interest of the show.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so you personally, how did you even get started in this industry?
It's always a fun tale. I mean, I originally came out to Los Angeles. I'm from Oklahoma originally, but I came out to Los Angeles to be in the film business. Did some stuff with New Line Cinema and IMAX and things like that. But eventually, work got me into some commercials with cars, and from that, I got into networking with some people in the industry. And at the time, they were looking for a production manager to run the YouTube channel that. Back in 2012, YouTube gave 100 channels some seed money to create original programming. They were really the first to do that. Like before Netflix and a lot of things, they were like, hey, let's have original programming. Not everything succeeded, but we were able to take that seed money and build what is now MotorTrend Studios.
So are you a car guy? Was this motorsports, video stuff, was this a dream, or was this something that more happened?
That's funny. I'll say this: I'm a car guy now, but at first, I have a brother that was into cars, and that was always his thing. But I did a video actually back in Oklahoma for a motorcycle company, and I started really liking it. And after that video, I went and bought a motorcycle. So I was obviously leaning towards that. And then once I got in it, I couldn't look back. I love everything to do with automotive content and just being around motorsports. Really, it's a ton of fun, and the people are genuine, and everybody's always looking out for their fellow person. It's just a really cool community, and that's what I love about it.
We agree wholeheartedly.
100%.
So with working for MotorTrend, is everything you do at a race or an event, or do you guys do things that are sort of, I don't know what the word would be, more just like reality TV?
We never wanted to go, call ourselves reality TV. In the beginning, what was kind of crazy and what made me want to do the job was they said, hey, we're going to do a video a day, like a long form video a day on YouTube, which at the time you never made a video over 2 minutes and 59 seconds on the internet. That was like, oh, nobody's watching after that. And we feel like we broke that mold, because we were making 22-minute programs with Roadkill and everything down to 7-minute programs. Because of that, and because to have a variety of it, that's what I loved, we went everywhere. I mean, we just inundated ourselves in every aspect of the automotive industry, whether it be at races or just with people building cars or former builders, or, you know, building stuff right now, or going on road trips, or just being around vehicles. And that's how I got to meet Katie, you know, is because we're always looking for these great opportunities to be among the people and do what people want. And so from that, we also, the YouTube channel gave us a great view what people wanted. They commented, said, this is what we're looking for. And so we would follow that. So it really encompasses all automotive, all things automotive. And that's what's great about MotorTrend, you know, is because there's so many sub, you know, facets of the automotive industry and the automotive fan. And we love the fact that we get to touch them all.
Yeah, I think you guys really do touch them all. Like sometimes I'll just see the feed and be like, oh my gosh, what is that? But
yeah, very diverse.
You keep talking about the YouTube channel, and I know you guys still have a YouTube channel, but you've made a pivot. There's now a MotorTrend TV channel and an app, yeah?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I do. Yeah, so the YouTube channel was what kind of made our name, and from that, we now have a full streaming service where you get to see all of the programs that were originals from the MotorTrend team, as well as we became a joint venture with Discovery, and from that, the former Velocity team got wrapped into the MotorTrend brand. And so the MotorTrend streaming service, you can see all of the programs that were formerly on Velocity and even programs that were on Discovery. And that's where all of our attention and focus has been going. And we've seen a lot of success there, because the fans love that they can go to one place to find all of the car content that they're looking for, regardless of their fandom.
So with the success, there's usually challenges. What sort of challenges do you see that somebody maybe outside the industry wouldn't, you know, think about or expect?
You know, for someone looking to just get into the industry, if you're into cars and you want to work around car content, you know, it is, over the years I've realized it's a small group. You know, there's not a ton of people that are doing what we do. And I think that to someone who's from the outside, it might be daunting to figure out how to find that way into the spot, you know, the space that they want to be in. But the good news is like the best part about going and doing all these things is every time we ever reached out to a group, an organization, a track, whatever it may be, everyone was always open to helping teach and learn. Like no one is pushing people away. So it's a bit of encouragement to someone who's looking to get in.
Yeah, but you'll hear a lot from, especially people in Raleigh, about trying to get you hooked on their style of the drug. Like they want you to come play with them for sure.
Once you do it, you're hooked. That's it.
Yeah,
you're done.
I have a problem.
There's no going back. That's the thing.
Yeah. So I really love cars and I love racing, and I think that, oh, this is super cool. And I think, yeah, making shows about all this would be amazing. Tell me some of the things that are maybe not so amazing that people probably wouldn't think about.
Well, you know, I tell you this. If you know anything about the shows that I work on, like Roadkill Dirt every day, the vehicles are sometimes the characters of the episodes, because they just take on their own. I have to deal with those cars after the episode's over with. So when you see the vehicles destroyed or whatever may happen, I'm the one that either has to keep them, find a place. We have a place to store them, but also keep them registered, because they all have to be legal. So when you're doing as many shows as we're doing, there's somewhere around 40 to 50 cars just currently in the fleet. And that's something that can, in California, if you don't know anything about the DMV, it can be quite a tricky situation. So yeah, that's probably the something that nobody thinks about, because it's like, oh, that looks fun. Look what they're doing with the car. Well, I have to find a place and do something with it afterwards. Yeah.
When you guys are looking at a new show or deciding on a show, what are like the main things, main points of a show that, you know, main characteristics that you guys are looking for?
You know, it changes all depending on the programming, but from my team's perspective, we're always looking for the real deal, the authentic person. You know, like we pride ourselves because the people that are talent on our shows, they're not actors. We don't tell them to say anything. They're extremely intelligent and well versed in their fields, and people respect that. And that's what we like to create, is content that is fun, entertaining, but also you learn something from it. And the only way you can do that is by having people that are experts in the field and already doing it. You know, so it's that's the best. You know, it's a good feeling to work with people that are.
You say you learn something from them. What's the most interesting thing you've learned from one of these shows?
Oh, wow. I mean, I can't even, over all the years, I can't even put that into I've learned so much, because I came from not being the regular, you know, car person. My dad was not into cars at all. So everything that I've learned and taken on as a hobby outside of work has been from these shows and from the talent and the people that I've got to work with. I mean, it's been great.
Have you ever been in front of the camera?
A few times, but you have to really be a fan and have watched some episodes to find me. That's for sure. I'm in there though, but not much. Try not to be.
I love it. I would like to take a slight detour back and talk about these cars that you have to deal with post-show. Do you reuse them?
So luckily, yes. I mean, that's out of necessity. Again, we were a small group. We would use cars that the host owned or people on the team owned. And because we were moving so fast, doing so many episodes, a lot of times we kept the cars in various locations and then reused them. And we found out people liked that. It was a recurring character, really, for them to count on. In fact, for example, we just now launched, one of the recurring characters has been what we call the Rotson. It's a 240Z Datsun that is full of rust. But we just announced recently we're coming out with a die cast with Hot Wheels. And so there's going to be a car that the version that we bought when it was just rust. And then when we turned it into what quote unquote became the Rotson, there's going to be two different versions that come out that people can collect. And that's, part of that is luck, and just that we kept, we didn't have ability to sell these cars or just didn't have the time. Mm-hmm. And then we were able to reuse them to save budget, and then they became popular.
Go ahead.
Oh, do you come up with ideas for shows? Is that part of your job, or do you take someone else's ideas and implement them?
Absolutely. I will not take credit for that at all. My job and my main thing is to take someone's ideas from paper and put them on screen. We all love to collaborate and throw ideas in there, and we're all group, a team collaborators. But in the end, we have some really great creators. I work with our executive producer, Levi Rugg, people like David Freiberger. I mean, their ideas are so great that we always, want to lean into those. I'd say.
And are they writers, or what do you call them?
Well, that's the thing, is that, again, we're very unique in what we do because of the collaboration. It's sometimes, we've started to incorporate more writers. A lot of the hosts were writers for magazines previously. So the company that I worked for was called Source Interlink Media, great name. And they own 70 magazines like MotorTrend, Hot Rod, Lowrider, Four Wheeler, a lot of those brands. So the people like David Freiberger, Fred Williams were actual editorial staff writers who had been doing projects and things and writing about them in magazines for years. And so what they decided was, when YouTube came to them, let's take these stories and bring them to video, and that was really the essence of it, and turn people that we already have here on staff into the stars, because they're the knowledgeable ones. Instead of having them write for somebody, let's put them on camera, because they're pretty interesting. And they had been doing some video things, DVDs and VHSs over the years. And, other talent had different avenues too, where they had done some on-camera stuff. So it all came into that, again, weird collaboration of how do we bring all these different entities in together and create something that people love to watch. So it is definitely different than most places do it.
So do you have a favorite show or favorite project that you worked on?
Yeah, people ask me that a lot, and I've worked on a lot of great stuff. But I thought about that, and it just it just aired on the channel because we did a program with Facebook Watch where they had us. It was called 3K Hoopty Challenge, and I actually really liked it because we had 74 competitors from all over the country do builds of vehicles that were under $3,000. And like one person did the build in 5 days, drove from New Hampshire to Arizona to compete in this, and it was just really cool because we had a lot of kids out there. It was a big event. People were able to come out for free. We promoted it. It was at Tucson Dragway. It was a really cool experience outside of just normal making a show.
So all these cars floating around, 40 having the fleet, the different shows. Any of these any of them you want like a slot in your garage for?
No, I mean, every now and then I look. People will tell you that I'm going to get that one. I want to buy that one from the company. That's the one I'm going to get. Been saying it for years, but I haven't done it yet. I fall in love every time, but then I just end up never following through. And as long as they're in the fleet with the company, then it's, they're part of the family and we can still use them. So
are there any that are gone that you miss?
We had one stolen, one that was, it was pushed the engine was, trashed after we had finished with it, and somebody in the middle of the night pushed it 3 miles in the dirt to get it. We haven't seen it since, but that one, I'd love to know where he was at now. It's called the Maserati.
Yeah, that would be a show all by itself.
It was impressive, and we recorded the tracks. We had the team out there, the production crews that just walked. This is how far they pushed it and recorded the show.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. So you mentioned something about promoting an event, and it reminded me that when we did a show with you guys, there were specific sponsors that came on board. I'm curious, like, when you are working with partners and working with sponsors on your show, what are the things that they're really partnering with you on? Are you guys pitching products for them, or is it that your audience is just really engaged and they find that valuable?
Well, it's changed over the years, again, with the different platforms. At the time when we were doing the program with Honda, they wanted to get into the space that drifting, and what that community was doing, because they thought that was a good area for them to position themselves. And it always depends, again, our talent aren't actors, so a lot of times they're using products that are using actual parts that they would use themselves, and because of that, they've built partnerships and stuff over the years. So a lot of times it's not paid for, but it's the best product to use, or it's the best part to use. And we want to always continue that integrity, because we want people to, go and get something that doesn't work. And that's, luckily we've been able to align with companies in the past that helped, that were good companies. But with the streaming service, it's a whole new world. We don't have to, the sponsorship is not as heavy as it used to be on YouTube. You had to use it to pay for the programs back then a lot more.
Right. It sounds like you have been through the transition from, I don't know what we call it, pre-digital to now, which is very digital. Have there been sort of unique challenges to being in your same type of role through this transition?
It's always changing. If I've learned anything, in this industry, don't fight change, because it's going to change. And you just have to continue to embrace and follow what you think is good, because who knows what it will be in 10 years. Like I said, in 2012, you didn't make a video that was longer than 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Like, that was just crazy. Like, why would you do that? Why would you post that? So, who knows what the future brings, but you just have to roll with the punches. And it is a lot of challenging changes, but to me, that's interesting.
Yeah. Gosh, that's good advice for almost any industry right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Any new exciting shows or projects you guys are working on that you can tell us about?
Yeah, what's coming next?
We're always working on new things, and you know, the team is always looking about new ideas and trying to create new things. So I can't speak to too crazy of stuff that's coming out, but I know that we're developing some really good stuff for the rest of the year, outside of this COVID world, basically. But the good news is we have a lot of shows rolling out, like Dirt Every Day, Roadkill Garage, and Hot Rod Garage that traditionally have rolled out on a monthly basis, and now we went to a weekly cadence. And we're just at the point where now we're going to be able to start rolling all those out for people to be able to see. So they've been waiting for a couple months for some of these programs, and I think it's perfect timing for people to sit down and binge some stuff.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think that, you know, the Super Bowl from 1984 rerun is, you know, kind of old. We all know what happened. I think they're ready for some new content.
Yeah, we want people to watch them, and then, you know, go to the internet and tell us what you think. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, because guess what? We're listening, and we will make shows and make content that we continue to like, but we also think that you'll like. So be vocal. Tell us. That's what I would say to everyone, because we're definitely listening. We always have.
Yeah. It is really clear working with you guys that you are genuinely invested and committed to what you're working on and what whoever you're working with is doing. When we did one episode with you guys, I think in 2017, and it was such a cool experience because we feel really passionate about what we're doing, and you guys did so much to sort of bring that out and be a part of the experience. It was, I mean, I'm not here to.
So we want to showcase.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
Yeah, it was
the motorsports world has a lot of passionate people, and people love to watch and see that passion on screen. And if we can do anything but come in and shine just a light on that and give people an insight into that world, that's what we want to do. I mean, it's you know, and that one was a great, you know, the Matt Powers and Jeff Stoneback had never done anything rally like that at all, ever. You know, and it was pretty fun to watch them fish out of water, you know, to come in there and have a lot of fun with everyone there. So it was really cool.
They were such good sports about all of it. They did great.
Yeah, they did great. They adapted very well, very quickly.
Yeah. So and hopefully this doesn't blow up your inbox too much, but let's say someone has an event they want to pitch to you guys, or they have an idea for a show they want to pitch to you guys. How do they do that? And what would you be looking for if they wanted to contact you?
You know, the best thing to do is there's a portal, producers portal that Discovery has, and that's the best place to submit ideas for legal, you know, just to cover everything. Hey, here's what my idea is, make sure it's yours, and you submit it there. It's pretty easy though. I would say, what are we looking for? That's a bigger question. I mean, you know, I think everybody has an idea of what they'd like to tell us about. So just bring your ideas, you know. I mean, that's the thing, is I could tell you, but we want to hear from the people that are living it and doing it, and hear the stories. I mean, that's the thing, is we want to continue to tell good stories. It's not about anything fabricated. It's really about showing true people just doing what they love. So that would be my only advice.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time today. Tell people where they can find you online.
If you want to check me out, Instagram's probably the best place. I'm at Adkins51. That's Brett Adkins. So B Adkins, just my first. Adkins51, yeah. So I'm there. Feel free to shoot me a note.
Awesome. And you're behind the scenes on all the things in the MotorTrend app and on the channel.
Yeah, so please, like I said, check it out. Let us know what you think. If you've got, you know, ideas, submit them. And we're looking to continue to just make great content for people like us that love cars.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.